Weapon mounted or handheld? Let's see which one is better. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Quentin's and the Gun Guide. Today we're discussing if a weapon mounted light is worth the investment. So is it worth your hard-earned cash to put a light on your EDC firearm? Before we start, firearm is safe. Let's carry on. In this video I'll be discussing why I think a weapon mounted light for your handgun or your rifle or carbine is actually essential, especially for self-defense purposes. I'll be going through some advantages and reasons why I think it's advantageous, and also some disadvantages or consideration that you really need to keep in mind before you decide to buy a weapon mounted light. So what does a rifle scope and a weapon mounted light have in common? Well, you can only shoot what you can see. Can I shoot this rifle without a scope? Yes, I can. Can I shoot it accurately? No, probably not. I won't be able to run out to 500 meters without this rifle scope. Exactly the same thing with your weapon mounted light. You can only shoot what you can see. When it's dark, you can't see what you're shooting. So that's the exact same reason why I would say that you need to EDC a flashlight as well. You don't know when you're going to need it, when you need to be able to identify a threat when it's dark or when it's low light conditions. According to statistics, at least in South Africa, most of the attacks happen between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Now that's usually when it's dark. That's mainly the times that you're going to use your firearm to defend your life or defend your loved ones. So now that we know why you need to use a weapon mounted light, we're going to go through the hows. So there's a few different ways of using your flashlight with your handgun, but all of them you need to use a hand to hold your flashlight. So the neck index, you can use the FBI technique, stretch further out. You can use the Harry's technique. You can use the sheer fire technique, where you press it there on the side with your palm. So there's various techniques, but all of them require that you use a hand as stated. If you use a weapon mounted light, I can just use it as I normally do. I can get my two-handed grip. I can do reloads how I want to, when I want to, and there's no extra muscle memory that I need to teach my body. So as the old saying goes, train until your mind forgets and your body remembers. So the more things that you store in muscle memory, the less processing power that your brain needs to process unnecessary information during a threat. Getting overloaded with all the adrenaline, there's not a lot of extra brain power to think about, okay, well, now I've got my flashlight in hand, now I need to go for a reload, or I need to go for a tactical reload. All things that's just a lot easier using your two hands. You can use it with your flashlight. Let's say you've got a emergency reload that you need to do. So I've run dry. I can still go through my motions and get my reload sorted. It's still possible, it's just a bit slow, and I really need to think about it. If I do the same with a weapon mounted light, there's a lot less processing power that I need to use for my brain. Tactical reloads, that's a lot easier as well. So if I'm behind cover, or if there's a lull in the action, if I don't know how many rounds that I've used in my mag, there's various reasons to do a tactical reload. Using a flashlight is a lot more difficult. So there's already fingers that's being used to hold the flashlight. This is just my favorite technique of holding the flashlight. So when I come back, I'm grabbing my mag, and I've run out of fingers. It's more difficult and a lot more fumbling. So is there an easy way? Probably is. There's just no need for me to learn it. I'm just using my normal technique. I'm there, push out. I can just use my normal technique to get my mag back. Nothing new that I need to learn. Same thing with emergency reload. I'm just using a normal reload, and I'm carrying on. Another advantage of freeing up your hand is manipulation. So I can manipulate doors, maybe hold on to a child, keep a child close to me. I can keep my wife close to me. I can get an injured buddy that I can hold, maybe drag back while I'm engaging and manipulating my weapon mounted light. So there's various reasons and advantages why I want this hand free and not just have this hand manipulating a flashlight and keeping this hand busy. So that was handguns. Now the game changes quite a bit when you're talking about rifles or carbines. So if I've got this as my home defense, or if this is your main rifle when you're doing duty work, maybe a policeman, maybe some kind of officer, it is safe. It's quite a pain when you need a flashlight to hold that against your rifle trying to light the way. You're not going to get a very good grip, meaning that you're not going to be able to manage a recoil as you should. So I've got this weapon mounted light on my front stock, so I'm able to engage this however I want to. I'm still getting a proper C-clamp grip. Same thing applies for reloads as well. I can reload there, pop it out. I've got the other hand to control my mag, and then control my rifle again. This just gets a lot more difficult when I'm holding a flashlight trying to get back and get my mag online. Less things to worry about, less things to concentrate. I'm just doing the same thing I do every time I want to reload. There's no extra thinking involved trying to manage this extra piece of kit in my hand. When you carry a weapon mounted light, it's not like a flashlight that you can maybe forget at home. Maybe your pants are a bit tight and you can't get it into a pocket that you want, and you decide you're just going to leave it at home. When I've got a weapon mounted light on my EDC firearm, inherently I've always got it with me. So whenever I need it, when I need to be able to identify a threat, then I can, because it's on my firearm. You can't really use your cell phone flashlight to try and identify a threat when you really need to. You need to be able to identify threats because you are responsible for each trigger pull. Every round that leaves your firearm is attached to a lawyer. You need to be accountable for each and every shot that you take. So you can't just take shots how you want to. You need to be responsible and liable for each time you pull that trigger. So now I've got a weapon mounted light. Doesn't mean that I don't need a handheld light anymore. No, not at all. I still need a handheld flashlight because I need to be able to search and assess with a handheld flashlight. I can't just pull out my firearm because I need a light to be able to see something in the dark. It's probably illegal in whichever state or country that you stay in. When you pull your firearm, you need to have a very good reason for it. Your life needs to be in danger. You can't just pull it out just because you need a light. That's why you carry a handheld. Carrying a handheld, you can always just identify the threat. If there is a threat, you can either dump it or drop it into your pocket or something like that, and then get my firearm out. If you're sure that there is a threat, then by all means pull your firearm. You don't need a handheld flashlight, but a weapon mounted light is never a replacement for a handheld. But a handheld could be a replacement for your weapon mounted light. Now for some considerations about weapon mounted lights. Now in the US, the setup that a lot of people run that I've seen is they've got a home defense firearm which is a bit bigger, carries more rounds with a nice and big weapon mounted light. And that's probably their EDC during the day will be something like this Glock 43. We don't have that luxury in South Africa because it's such a pain getting a firearm license, and it's really not easy to get a license under self-defense section. So what you have is probably what you always going to have. That's why I went with the smaller weapon mounted light. As you can see, it's basically in line with my trigger guard. That's not increasing the footprints of this firearm too much. This is the PL Mini 2. This is 600 lumens. So when you use it indoors, especially against light walls like these ones, it's not going to blind you and take away all of your night vision. Imagine hitting in complete darkness, hitting a light wall like this with 1,000 lumens and up. that's going to take away most of your night vision for quite a while. Actually, it takes your eyes a while to recover again. So this is basically the minimum for me. Nice and easy to carry. This is very small. And remember, you don't need a lot of lumens. In complete darkness, according to the website reference.com, you need about 80 lumens in complete darkness to blind someone. So that's taking away their night vision, some disorientation. In daylight, you need 200 lumens of direct ray into someone's eyes just to blind them. So 600 lumens, that's more than enough. So anything from 200 lumens and up, that's just going to be gravy. This one big consideration is increasing your footprint of your pistol. If we compare my two Edge custom carry holsters, this one is the weapon mounted light holster for the Glock 19. That just fits in there. See how much bigger that is versus my minimalist holster from Edge as well. So if we line them up from the bottom, see that whole piece there on the side, that is how much bigger it is. So meaning that's going to be that much more difficult to conceal, and just a bit more of a pain to carry. This isn't actually too bad to carry anyway, because as stated, I decided to go with the smaller weapon mounted light because I EDC it. I'm not going to carry my firearm in the outside waistband position, I carry it in the inside waistband position. Another consideration is price. So you can expect to pay anything from, depending on what type of pistol you have, you're going to pay anything from a quarter to about a third of your pistol price towards a weapon mounted light. That's going for quality stuff. I wouldn't say go for anything cheaper, but I'm absolutely crazy about these Olights. These things are almost indestructible. They can really take a beating. So keep in mind that you need to buy a weapon mounted light, but with that you need to buy a holster as well. So these two go together. I can't buy a PL Mini 1 now and think that it's going to fit in the PL Mini 2 holster. It's just not going to happen. Same thing with the bigger weapon mounted lights like the PL Pro, something like that. So that's just going to push up your investment a bit more, but definitely I would say worthwhile. Something else to keep in mind is that you need to keep your flashlight charged. Now most of the quality flashlights won't just run down if you don't use them, but a good thing to keep in mind is just to basically keep it charged. Just check it or charge it weekly, something like that. And also, when you charge your weapon mounted light, don't leave it on your weapon when it's charging. It's so easy to take off. Take it off, put it into your other holster, carry your firearm with you or put it in the safe, and then leave this to charge. It's never a good idea leaving a firearm unattended where kids can get to it, where other random people can get to it. It's illegal and it's dangerous. So rather, when you're charging your weapon mounted light, take it off. You can always just pop it back again when it's fully charged. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed my video about weapon mounted lights, because you can only shoot what you can see. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. Have a good one.